Scooby, welcome back to my channel. So, anyways, I'm here to talk about why Father is evil and why he needs to die. Why Sean needs to die in the Fallout game. And why it's a good thing to annihilate the Institute. Why it's a good thing to get rid of them. Why it's a good thing to side with the Brotherhood of Steel, the Railroad, the Minutemen, you name it. And why it's a terrible choice to join the Institute. It's because Father is evil. It's not just the Institute that's evil, but it's Father, Sean, the lost son that you find in the game. So, basically, I want to point out a few things. First of all, Father had the chance to release you from cryosleep. He had the chance to release you, but doesn't. He only releases you because he believed, or he thought that it would be interesting. It would be a cool thing to see what his father would be like, or what his mother would be like, depending on which choice you make in the game, whether you're a guy or a girl. So basically, Father only released you out of curiosity. He only released you because he wanted to see what would happen. So this basically indicates that Father had so many chances to release his parents from the Institute, that he has so many chances to find them, but doesn't. For some reason, doesn't. And this is something that's baffling. So you're saying that you know where your parents are the whole time, but you don't release them because... why? You only release them because you want to see what would happen out of curiosity? Granted, I can maybe defend this on Father's point of view. Maybe he couldn't because he wasn't the director of the Institute at the time. Maybe he just didn't have the power to do that. Maybe he didn't have the power to release you from your sleep without getting into trouble by the other Institute members. Maybe he just didn't have that power. But then, we don't know how long Father's been with the Institute. We don't know how long he... what I mean is, we don't know how long he's actually been leader of the Institute. It could have been 5 years or 10 years, but all of the Institute members basically indicates that Father's been leader of the Institute for a while, giving Father plenty of chances to release you. So, let's get to my second point. Father is in no hurry to find you. He's in no hurry to see where you are, what you're doing. He's in no hurry to save you from the wasteland. He just lets you go, not knowing if you're gonna die by raiders or by super mutants. And every time you try to talk to him, he's so passive about it. He's like, "Oh, I had a whole lifetime to get over my grief, but it's okay. I know that you haven't had that luxury, so I know this is a bit of a shock for you." Well, I understand that point of view. What I don't understand is he's meeting his father for the first time and doesn't really seem to really care that much. He doesn't seem to care at all. He says he shows emotions. He says that it's hard for him. But that's it. That's as far as that dialogue goes. There is really no dialogue to show what he's actually feeling, what he's actually thinking. And that leads me to believe that Father just doesn't really care about his parents. He doesn't really care about other people other than himself. It's either his way or the highway. Which gets to my third point about Father. Everything he says in the Institute goes. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Whatever he says goes. If someone needs to die, they die. If someone disrespects him, he corrects it and says, "No, this is how I'm..." Oh my god. Huh? So anyways, let me get back to it. Father is not so hesitant to make you leader of the Institute when he's gone. Granted, you've only met him for a few days, but he's so convinced that you're gonna be okay with everything the Institute does. He's so convinced, oh, this is my dad, this is my mom. You're gonna be okay with everything I'm throwing at you. But all the other scientists are like already protesting about it. Oh, but he's not a scientist. This is an outrage. Well, it's my way or the highway, so it's whatever. And that's baffling because your character is not indicated at all to be a scientist. And there's obviously more qualified candidates for this choice, which makes no sense. So let's go back to the railroad. He is angry because the railroad steals synths, that they're harboring synths, which makes no sense. It doesn't really matter if they are. I mean, I get that they stole their property, but do they really need to die for it? Granted, people can steal, that people do horrible things, but I don't believe stealing really justifies for killing somebody. And that just shows that Father is a tyrant. He does not care about killing other people. Let's go back to, again, about does not care about his parents and killing. He states that he knew that Kellogg killed one of his parents, whether it's the mom or dad, Nate or Nora, depending on which character you pick. But he knew for a while that Kellogg was responsible for it, yet he's okay to work with him. And he does not try to kill Kellogg. He does not send anybody to go kill Kellogg. Maybe because he couldn't. Maybe that's a justifiable view, that he just couldn't get Kellogg killed because he was just that good, which I believe is bullshit. So he knows that Kellogg killed one of his parents, and he just okay with it. He doesn't have him killed, but yet when the railroad steals synth robots, he has them get killed immediately. And that's another baffling idea. That's like, what is this guy thinking? You're okay with someone killing your parents, but you're not okay with somebody stealing your robots. You know, no, that's a big no-no. You know, if I were Father, I would have, once I found out about Kellogg, I would have him killed almost immediately. At least, you know, have some type of closure for that aspect. And then go release one of my parents who's still alive. So, let's go back. He does not care that, he knew about where you were frozen, and doesn't release you until he's about to die, really. The character indicates that, oh, I'm dying, and I was only curious to see what would happen. 2, when he shows you the child Sean, he does it out of curiosity. He doesn't go meet you face to face. He doesn't meet you face to face at all when you get released from your cryosleep. Instead, he sends the child robot Sean to meet you face to face. All because he was curious. Let's go back to 3. 3, he's such a passive character. He does not care about other people. 4, everything goes his way or the highway. 5, people die if he is unhappy about it. 6, he does not care that one of his parents was killed or is evil, and why he needs to die, and why it's the moral choice to let Father die. And this is the sad story about Fallout that isn't really shown upon. It's hinted at, but basically the Institute turned your son into a monster. Once the Institute stole your son, it was over. He was no longer going to be a good person. They molded him to be the way he was, and he does not show emotion. He has a hard time showing emotion. When you try to talk to him about anything, he's so passive about it. He's like, oh, I don't know how to show emotion, so, you know. And whatever. And let's not forget the fact that he's willing to put one of his parents in harm's way. Yes, he knows that his parents can handle himself, but hey, Mom, Dad, do you mind killing this guy for me? Since Kellogg's not around. If that doesn't scream, like, evil, that there's something wrong with this guy, I don't know what does. You know, because I think a normal human being would think, I don't want to put my parents in harm's way, so I'll just send one of my synth robots to go do the dirty work for me. And then let's go back to the idea that the Institute is supposedly humanity's best choice for survival. That is humanity redefined. Why is it humanity redefined? Because you made robots? How does that help humanity? All the synths ever do is kill people. All they do is kidnap people. He says that it's for the greater good of the Commonwealth, that it's the greater good for humanity, but they don't use synths for anything else other than the fact for killing. And let's go back to the teleportation device. The Institute has created some impressive technologies, weapons not really being one of them, synths being, impressive. But the most impressive technology at the Institute is the ability to teleport. Now, they could use this teleportation device for a lot of things. First of all, Father could have used this teleportation device to get one of his parents out of Vault 11, 111, whatever, and send them back to the Institute safely. But he doesn't. He just lets you walk around in the wasteland like an idiot and just like, oh, I don't know if he's going to survive, but whatever, He doesn't use that technology for any other reason other than to send people to go kill or to kidnap people. And that's another thing. The Institute takes people by force, by free will, and they only use the teleportation to get people to get what they need, and they leave. They don't use it to try to help other settlements. They don't use it to try to send supplies, send weapons, send more synths to areas where there's super mutants or feral ghouls or raiders. They say they're the best hope for humanity, but all the technology they use, they don't actually use it for humanity. They use it for themselves. And Father is so convinced that taking over the Commonwealth is the best choice. Now, let me go to a little side quest that you have to do when you do the Institute. One of them being the speech you have to do. When you do the institutionalized quest for the Institute, you have the choice to go and tell people of the Commonwealth that the Institute is here to stay. Now, I did this several times. So what I found is no matter what positive thing you say, Father will always say, oh, that's not what I would have said, but okay, that will do. Not his exact words, but that's basically what he's saying. But when you use like the tyrant type speech where the Institute is here to stay, if you're getting our way, we will kill you, blah 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 blah. If you say anything negative like that, Father basically is okay with it. He's like, oh, that's good choice of words. So it is the moral choice to kill Sean. It is the moral choice to let Sean die. It is the moral choice to let Father die. And that Father is truly evil. And that the sad part is that 1-year-old child that you go to save in the Fallout universe turns into a monster. And, I can't imagine any parent going through that. But that's the beauty part of Fallout. It puts you in tough situations. It puts you in dilemmas. And it's a moral dilemma. That's what Fallout is. It's just one giant tale of moral dilemmas. You don't know what's the best choice. Should I side with the Brotherhood of Steel even though they want to kill all the super mutants, even though not all the super mutants are bad? Should I side with the Brotherhood of Steel even though they want to kill all the ghouls? Should I side with the Railroad even though they're harboring synth machines that could easily be programmed to take over the Commonwealth or kill people? I mean, even though they're robots and they're not real living beings, they're robots. So, but at the same time, you feel the moral choice to help the Railroad. And then there's the Minutemen. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they are the weakest faction in all of the Fallout 4. My point is, you have so many factions, and there's so many ups and downsides, that the super mutants and the feral ghouls and the raiders are obviously evil, that you want them dead, that if you see them, shoot them on sight. But as far as the Institute goes, you're stuck with this moral dilemma. Should I help the Institute because my son is part of it? Is the Institute really the best hope for humanity? Should I help my son or should I betray my son? And the answer is no. Your son is evil. That child that the Institute took from The cryosleep, they turned them into a monster. And they only use their technology to get what they want, and they don't care about other people other themselves. They are willing to do anything and all things to kill other people, and it's all thanks to Father, who is a tyrant. So, these are my thoughts. This is Matthew Scooby, and this is just my opinion. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. I gotta go. Peace out.